Hello, stamping friends. This is Jenny from Celebrate the Journey. It's Wednesday night and time for a Facebook Live. I hope you've had a happy day. We have been busy as usual. It's Wednesday. That's our busy day, I guess. So, are you guys feeling the busyness of summer? Where you have so many things you want to do and you don't have enough time, and then you try to squeeze it all in. I thought summer was supposed to be slower and more relaxing, but lots going on, so it makes it hard to get in some of the fun things. Well, tonight we're going to make some faux shaker cards, which we've done before, but it's been a while. So last night I was playing around and I thought, well, this looks like fun. Let's try this. So we're going to use circle sayings for one card, and then we're going to use biggest wish for the next card. So, and they're both easy. That's the good thing about these is they're quick and easy. They still have that wow factor. And with the busyness of summer, you'll be able to get some cards made and in the mail, and everybody will be happy. So let's get started. Make sure I've got the stamp I need. Yep. We're also gonna use, I forgot, this Starburst. I think that's what this, Ray of Sunshine. I think that's what this one's called. This is going to be our background on our first card. So just have a piece of basic white at 5.5 by 4 1/4. And we're going to ink this one up with Lemon Lolly. Now this would be much easier if you were using a Stamparatus or a stamp positioning tool. I just was kind of lazy and didn't get that out for this card, but not everybody has a stamp positioning tool, so this is a good way for you to see how to do this without one. And the reason that's easier is because these are such big stamps and they're kind of heavy. And if you have mature hands, it might be hard to pick it up and get it on there. So we're going to actually stamp upside down. We're going to inking that up. And now I'm just using a piece of scrap paper to rub the stamp. And it works fine, especially for this particular stamp that's kind of sketchy looking. It's not real crisp lines on it, I guess. And we want to make sure we get everything on there. And then we'll pick this up. And that came out beautiful, didn't it? Look at that sun. Now we'll put this to the side and clean it later. Now that came out so nice and pretty, didn't it? Super. Now we want to trim this down a little bit because we want it at 4 by 5 1/4. So I'll trim that edge off because it's got the little bit of white. Oh, my phone's making noise. We'll just ignore it. And I think I'll take it off of the bottom here at 4. Now we've got that, our background piece, and we will put that to the side. Work on our stamping. Let me put my phone on quiet so it won't be making noise. Now we're going to mount this on our background. We're going bright. Both of our cards tonight are bright and cheery. So we're going to use Tahitian Tide. Doesn't that look pretty with that yellow? If you're here tonight, leave me a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, then I would love to have a comment from you also. Okay, now we need our image from Circle Sayings. We're going to use this one with the ocean and the sun because I kind of think that goes nicely with this. We're going to stamp this with Memento Black. And then we get to do a little bit of coloring. And we use Lemon Lolly and our Tahitian Tide. Let's see, we want a little bit of dark, a little bit of light. We'll do the Tahitian Tide first. Get up there next to the foam of the ocean. You know, now that I'm looking at this, I think I need a trip to the ocean. Anybody want to go with me? Would be fun, wouldn't it? I don't like to go when there's lots of crowds, so we'll have to wait and after school gets back in session, maybe. Now we'll add a little dark to our waves. I hope you guys can see this. It looks kind of dark on my computer tonight for some reason. Maybe it'll lighten up a little bit. You know, since this is the ocean, we're going to add some Wink of Stella too. Now we'll do our sun. I think with the darker Lemon Lolly. That's Daffodil. Let's see. That's light. There's dark. We'll put a few little dark streaks there, and then when we color it with the lighter, they'll blend in. See how that works. Need to get out a little farther there. And then I pulled a little, the light balmy blue to just give the foam a little bit of blue. look to it. We'll leave it a little white showing too also. So now we'll put those to the side. We don't need those anymore. And we're going to punch this. Trying to see which one's which. This is the smaller one. And we'll mount this on a larger Tahitian tide. Then we'll add our wink of Stella. You want these to be very glued together real well because we're going to put the sequins for the shaker card in there. We don't want them to get caught under the edge. So we don't usually go quite that far to the edge, but tonight I am, because we don't want any gaps there. Now let's add some shine to our of course our little foam's got to have a lot of shine on it. This is my kind of coloring where you don't have to worry about perfection. See if we could probably get a little more on there. I haven't checked to see if Wink of Stella is back in stock. I hope it is, because I never want to run out. Now this is going to go right there. I was looking in the catalog today and there is a stamp set that would work for this. I'm going to go grab it. I own it, but I haven't used it yet, so I guess it hasn't caught my eye. It's called Hope You Know. And look at this. You are the sunshine that brightens so many of my days. You could put that right there on that ray of sunshine. Rays of light, and it would just be perfect, wouldn't it? This is a great stamp set. If you haven't noticed it in the catalog, it's got sympathy, thinking of you, comfort, thank you, just hello, lots of really nice sentiments. I like to collect sentiments. Okay, now gotta get one more thing. Had everything out except for the clear envelopes. So when you make a faux shaker card, you use the clear envelopes, and we sell these in the catalog. They're on the same page as the envelopes. Do you know, somebody mailed me a card the other day in one of these. It was great. And Robert was so excited to get a card in the mail in a clear envelope. You just have to put a label on the outside and it works fine. Now, this envelope is a little bit bigger than our card front, so we're going to use some Scotch tape and fold that down. I think I'll do it at the bottom part. Doesn't really matter which edge you do that. You just want to get it as tight as you can. There we go. Now, this year we don't have a lot of sequins in the catalog. We have a set of silvers and then those iridescent circle things. But if you're like me, you have sequins somewhere. And these are left from Christmas a couple years ago. But I thought the silver and gold would work fine for this. It's kind of a mess with this holder. I should put them separate, shouldn't I? And we're gonna grab some sequins here. So we're going to put them on towards the, so they fall on the front of our clear envelope. And we'll just grab, these are gold and white and silver. We'll put a pinch in there. We'll put a couple pinches. Some just went in the back, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to put a couple of these orange because they kind of go with the sun color. And I think I'll put one more pinch of that. And I better put the lid back on this so I don't have a glitter explosion. I have sequins all over the floor. You can use an embossing buddy to help with the static on this, but you don't really have to. Now we got those down in there, and now we'll peel this off, and we can fold it all the way to the edge of our card. That should hold it. Now there's our shaker card. Isn't that cute? You don't want it too tight or they won't move. So we're going to loosen that up a little bit. There. So now they can shake around. Now we're going to put this on our card front. Now you know that Tombow is not going to work for this. We'll have to use tear and tape because plastic doesn't stick well with glue. Acetate, I guess this is some sort of acetate. I want to use something that will get that on there tight for us. And do I see Kathy Bow here tonight? I don't see comments today, so that could be a Facebook thing or it could be me. And I'm going to put one in the middle there just to make sure it's nice and secure. And then we'll get our take a pick tool and peel that off. And we'll put that on our card front. make sure we turn it the right direction. And hopefully we can get that kind of centered on here. Because once you put tearing tape down, it's down. A little piece of the edge of the envelope there, I can snip it off. So there's our shaker card. And we need the inside. It's going to use the sentiment from this set. It says, sending you a warm hello. And I need Tahitian Tide. I wonder if stamping the hello in yellow would be bright enough. We'll try it and see. I'm going to practice this for my Tahitian Tide is super juicy. And so I'm trying not to get a lot of ink on it. Probably need to soak it up a little bit with a paper towel. That's not too bad. Let's see what happens with warm hello. Actually, I'm going to use the memento. I think the yellow would be too light. I usually would just stamp this directly on the inside, but honestly, I was afraid I would mess it up. So I decided to use an extra piece of paper this time so I didn't mess up my card. Did you ever do that? Of course, if I messed it up, I could cover it up, but decided this would be okay. I just think these are fun. They're a little different, but they're quick. This one did not take us long at all. So there's our first shaker card. So you really wouldn't want that on with dimensionals because then the sequins would get caught behind it. You want them to be able to move around. All right, so our next one is going to be bright and cheery again. And I'm using Coastal Cabana and Fresh Freesia. And I had some of this shimmer paper left, and I just couldn't resist using it. So you'll have to forgive me. And we're going to adhere that. I don't usually would not do this, but we're going to run this through an embossing folder, so that glue is not going to show. I don't know that it would show much anyway. But I know it won't once we emboss it. So we're going to run it through this Starburst embossing folder. It'll also help hold that shimmer paper on there. Now we have that fine shimmer paper in the catalog this year, but it didn't have the color I wanted, so I just decided to use something that was on my shelf. I'm sure we all do that sometimes. Now you can't see that I used Tombow on there at all. And we'll go ahead and mount this. Oh, we need to trim this down after we've embossed it. So we want it at 4. Actually, we're going to have to trim each side because some of that's showing. Doesn't want to cut 2 pieces at a time. Let's see, I'm going to have to do, this is going to go at 5 1/8. So then this here, 3. As I'm trimming this, I think that's right. Trimming is like math. You have to pay attention. Now let's see if we've got enough border here. Oh, that's good. We'll rub that little shred off. That'll give us a nice border. Let's make sure we're going to have that I've cut this one right. I did. Sometimes when I get in a hurry, or when I'm tired at the end of the day, I mess up. Which happens more than I want to admit. Let's rub that down nice and tight. Now we are going to put this in our envelope. We're going to do this one a little different today, this time. So this time our stamping is going to go on the outside. That's a nice change. You can. I wanted to show you how you can do it either way, and it still works. And this time I found some, because I found these sequins, I guess that's why I went with these colors, because I thought they're nice and bright, aren't they? We're going to put some pinches of sequins in here. Gotta do one more. It's a good way to get rid of your sequins, isn't it? Let's scoop those up. They're in my drawer too now. They're everywhere. I think that's enough. Now we'll peel the envelope seal back. And we'll put that on our card front. But we don't have to worry about upside down or on this one or anything, because we haven't put our image on it yet. I suppose if you wanted this a little thicker, you could use the foam strips, but it's going to be thick enough as it is getting in an envelope. I think I'd just stick with tear and tape. You know, you can also emboss this clear envelope if you really wanted it double embossed. That'd be kind of fun, wouldn't it? It's always fun to emboss things. Yeah. One more. It's that little bitty leftover piece. Might as well use it. Now this time we're going just to put our stamping on the outside of the envelope. Turn that little piece off again. And I have a tailored tag. I usually stamp and then die cut, but because of these sentiments, I needed it die cut first so I'd know where to stamp. We're going to do happy birthday. And I wouldn't know exactly how to place these two stamps together if I didn't already have it die cut. So we're going to stamp first with Fresh Freesia. I love this stamp set. I used it the other day with Zany Zoo and it came out so cute. It's a good all-around happy birthday, thinking hello, thank you stamp set. And then we're going to use our Coastal Cabana because we got to be bright and colorful today. These are summertime cards. And again, I pulled out some from my stash, this baker's twine that's kind of blue and silver and white. And I thought, well, we're going to use it. It happens sometimes, doesn't it? It is a little thick. It's kind of hard to get through the hole, but we can do it. I made myself a promise I would not be ordering any more ribbon until I use up what I have. Now, baker's twine I can use up. I use it a lot. Let me cut this off. And we'll put this on with some dimensionals. I did remember to grab a new sheet of dimensionals because I'm down to just a few little edge pieces. I use those, but I like to save the edge pieces for a skinny element. And now we can put our card tag right about there. While I had the scraps out, I cut a couple flowers out with Sentimental Park, and I thought that might dress this up a little bit. So, let's see if we can't get those on there. Wonder how they can, I know they can stick with a glue dot. And I don't see any glue dots on my desk. I wonder where they went. Oh, they probably went on the floor. Nope. There they are. Let's see. These will stick to the plastic nicely. And they'll stick to my fingers too. So we probably need a little fresh freesia flower. Put a third one up this way. Let's see, we've got a medium size. I think we'll just leave it. We'll leave those. And then we can put a couple sequins on there to dress it up. Our pick tool, that'd be easier. Kind of roll that up a little bit. That looks weird, doesn't it? But it's going to work out. We're going to put a sequin on top. It's upside down. Not very good with this pokey today. Too many tools. Here's an see if we can find a pink one here. And let's see, I bet we can get one of these little bitty, maybe we can find a bigger blue one. You'd think somewhere in here would be, maybe all the blues. Here's one. Need one more dot. Now, when I say this is easier, it is easier. Those shaker cards that you do with the frames, and they're so pretty and they're so fun, but I struggle with them. So if you struggle with those, then the Faux Shaker card might be just what you need. I think I'll put some little rhinestones in the middle of those flowers. Don't you think I should? Let's see, they should be right here, I think. Yeah. My favorite bling of the year is the rhinestones that go with everything. We don't need one on that one underneath because you can't see it. Afraid it would make it too lumpy. That just finishes it off kind of pretty. So happy birthday and a warm hello. Bright, cheery summer cards. Just to let somebody know you love them. I appreciate you popping in tonight. I will check on comments later when Facebook decides to share comments with me, and I will check on YouTube also. I'll see you next time. Bye.